Focus on making one thing at a time. This is Torres here, and in this video, I'm going to talk about why you should be focusing in on making one design or pot at a time in order to improve your pottery. Now, because you want to focus in on one thing at a time, I'm not talking about just making one pot at a time. I'm talking about focusing in on making just one shape at a time, I guess you could say. Whether it's a mug, bowl, vase, or anything else, a planter, maybe. Focus in on one thing at a time. And doing this, it will improve your pottery tenfold. Because you're going to be able to find out better tricks and tips that will help you later on with your rest of your pottery career. Now, a little while back, I interviewed this person on Instagram. His Instagram tag is Bell Hill Pottery. Check him out. And as I was talking to him, one of the things that he said that he made the most and what he dialed in on was a teapot. He said that he made a lot of different teapots before he really expanded his range on making different things. So he made tons of teapots, and he said he saw a lot of big improvements in order to really make his pottery look better. And I know I heard John the Potter say that on one of his YouTube videos too. He said he got good at throwing on the wheel by making a bunch of mugs, I believe, for a wedding. And he said I think he made like 200 of them. And he made a bunch of them. So that's what it comes down to. I did the same thing with mugs also. I made a bunch of mugs before I really started expanding my range more. And because I made a bunch of mugs early, I was able to see improvements later with throwing taller things, bowls, and a lot of different other things. Because I was able to practice more. And that's what it comes down to, is practice. So you want to make just one thing at a time. And when you make one thing at a time, you're not going to get overloaded, overbeared, I guess. And you're going to feel more relaxed because you're not going to be stressing out, oh, should I make this thing or this thing? If you just know one thing, it's very simple. Just make that one thing and just keep on repeating and repeating and repeating. And that's the whole thing with this. When you make one thing at a time, you repeat it enough and you get the skills that you need in order to really build up your pottery improvement and wheel thrown pottery. Now, you don't have to just focus on the shapes that you make. Another good thing that you can focus on is just making tons and tons and tons of cylinders. Now, making a cylinder is pretty much the basics of throwing on the wheel. But the more you make a cylinder, the more you're going to be able to really get better at it. Now, what are some other reasons why you should be focusing on one thing? Well, if you focus in on one thing, you're going to be able to get your shape down that you want. You're going to be able to make multiple shapes look the same faster and quicker because you're focusing in on one thing rather than jumping from here to here to here to here to here, making a vase, bowl, mug all in the same day. So stick with one thing at a time for at least for a while you're a beginner. And then once you start feeling more comfortable with the shape that you're making, then you can start expanding your zone. Go to 2 things, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. Just keep on expanding little by little, but focus in on that one thing first. And then, now, what is another reason why it's good to make one thing over and over? Well, you're going to find smaller tricks and tips in order to really improve how your pottery is going to look like. You can try something very small, and you're gonna see drastic improvements, or you're gonna see no improvements. But you're gonna learn a lot more because you're making that one thing over and over and over again. So go out there, find that one thing that you really want to make over and over again, and get good at it. Specialize in that, and then expand later. Thank you. Comment below if you enjoyed this video. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.